We have some huge Habs prospect news as Michael Hage is now #1 in freshman scoring, and it's not even close, including being above a potential #1 overall draft pick this year. We got to dive into what he has done as of late, plus a big Russian prospect update. No, it's not Bogdan. No, it's not Demidov. It's Yevgeni Volokhin, and his stats will honestly very much surprise you because it surprised us. But we do have a little note on Demidov as well. There was a lot of great stuff, a big prospect episode of Habs Digest, so stick around. And I want to start with Ivan Demidov, Jesse, and we got to talk a little bit about this. He's been playing great, as we know, but just wanted to highlight this article from rg.org that I'll link down below just because it is really cool, and it's always nice to hear some praise for him. They're clamoring for stars. Scotty Bowman sees Ivan Demidov as Montreal's next big name. 91-year-old Scotty Bowman, by the way, still keeping track of the Habs. He said, I think he's got a chance to be a star, he said to RG. Montreal's the mecca of hockey, and if he decides to sign here, it's going to be well accepted. So people don't get a chance to scout the Russian players as much now as they would have 10 years ago, but it's still a strong league. Like, I know, Jesse, like, some people might not listen to his opinion or know too much about this right now. Dude's a legend of the game, though, and to hear that every single person, it seems like, no matter how far gone out of the game, how old they are, how young they are, everyone around the world of hockey is seeing how important Ivan Demidov is to Montreal, and that is something I love to see, especially from a legend like Scotty Bowman.
Yeah, he's got such big praise. And, obviously, this guy knows the winner, having won the most by a head coach ever, 9 in the NHL, right? So this guy he only saves his praise for the very best. He's done this before with Jacob Fowler. Now he's doing it with Ivan Demidov. And he believes that this is like kind of that elite kind of goal scorer like the Habs had back in the day, like when he was the head coach of the Montreal Canadiens golden era. He very much sees him being that kind of offensive player to, potentially, he's not saying exactly that, he's going to kind of shoe in that golden era, but he's saying that's important kind of component again. And just, he's got a lot of praise, like just for the organization right now, just saying how the rebuild is going so well. But there's like, when it comes down to Scotty Bowman, a keen hockey mind, there's certain specific things that he just says. This is why, Ivan Demidov is going to succeed. And things we're hearing from a lot of people right now. That's his amazing work ethic, that he has right now. And then also, it's that skill that he's really bringing to the table. That's obviously very much at that next level in that hockey IQ. Yeah. So it's just like when we're putting kind of all those things together right now, it's really just boding, just for an amazing future for him right now, because Scotty Bowman, like he picks his spots, right? He only gives his praise for the very best.
Absolutely. And, those things, those characteristics you just said, the skill is evident. Every single thing he does on the ice is evident. The IQ and the work ethic, you got to look a bit behind the scenes for that, but it's something that's very evident if you look for it. And clearly, we're all seeing this with Demigod. I mean, there's a reason that's his nickname. This dude exhibits every single aspect you could want from a top prospect, and it's just great to hear the amount of people that are giving him praise. So shout out Scotty Bowman. Shout out to Demidov. Leave us your thoughts down below on these comments, because you know what? You can't just toss these comments aside. This means something, and it's really, really fun to look at. But, Jesse, we're going to stay in Russia, and we're going to talk about another Habs prospect in the KHL, and that's Yevgeni Volokhin. It's been a while since we've talked about our boy Yevgeni Volokhin, but just take a look at this. Nope, not that. That was a trade. That was a great trade deadline, but we're talking about Yevgeni Volokhin. He's got a .907 save percentage and a 2.98 GAA in the KHL. And that alone, you'd say, well, that's pretty darn good. And then you look and you say, well, oh my gosh, he's 19 years old. He doesn't even turn 20 until April. That's even better. And then you look at Sochi, and Sochi is a really bad team this year. Volokhin has a 1-win, 7-loss record. He's been in 12 games, but he's only the goalie of record in 8 of them. But to be as good as he is on a team as bad as Sochi, a team that traded away their top goalie, Yegor Zavragin, to SKA St. Petersburg, where Ivan Demidov plays, since he's been moved, Yevgeni Volokhin has been their best goaltender stats-wise. He's only played in 12 games versus 29 for Ivanov, but Volokhin, Jesse, is the youngest goalie on this team right now. He has the best stats on a team that does not have a very good defense in front of him. I just feel like he slips under the radar sometimes as how good he is and how much promise he shows for such a young goalie in such a decent league for such a bad team.
And he's a dark horse in this organization for sure. And obviously, we're here with a really great note that his development is just going so well right now. So obviously, he's gonna possibly get an opportunity for some more games kind of coming up here. But he's showing some really solid things. Showing a good glove hand, solid rebound control right now. So it's up to him to kind of continue this up right now. But obviously, he's really building on a strong first year in really professional hockey.
Yeah, it's unbelievable to see what he's doing. And again, 584 minutes, which is, if you do the math, he's definitely not averaging a full game every time he's out there. But Jesse, sometimes these Russian prospects, you got to take a look at them, take them with a grain of salt as well. But again, by the way, I just wanted to point this out. All four goalies here, including Savard, who was traded. Savard was 20 or 21, I believe. I think he was 20. Volokhin's 19. Ivanov, I think, is 21. And Tulanov is 20. All these guys are 21 or younger. But Volokhin's still the youngest of all of them. So just needed to highlight that because, a lot of people don't get to see him play. There are some highlights on YouTube. He's made some phenomenal saves this year. Actually, the more impressive thing, Jesse, I would say, is he started the year kind of rough in the KHL. He only had like an 850 save percentage through 2, 3, 4 games, and he's really backed up his play since then and has turned into their best goalie statistically. So shout out to him. Some great stuff. But the final guy we got to talk about today, this is the guy we've all been waiting for, Jesse, and that is Michael Hage. Oh my goodness, is he ever good? Right now, this is a list of the top points per game players in the NCAA. Jesse, he's 11th in the whole NCAA. He's almost top 10. He's barely outside the top 10 as he has a 1.26 points per game average with 24 points in 19 games. But not only that, this comes from Reddit here. You can see the user there. I can't really read it. But still, Michael Hage has been the best freshman in college hockey so far this season. These stats come from Elite Prospects. Jesse, he's number one of all freshmen in total points and points per game of all these guys here. 24 points in 19 games. He's above a guy who could go number one overall in James Higgins. He's above a guy like Cole Yzerman. Only has one fewer goal than Yzerman, who was touted as one of the best goal scorers from last year's draft. Cole Hutson, by the way, shout out to him as a defenseman being here. Really cool. But Jesse, I can't get enough of the Michael Hage praise right now. What he's been doing has been nothing short of incredible.
Yeah, doubling the goal totals of his next closest freshman right now, above Higgins, above Yzerman. Like, Michael Hage right now is looking like a steal at this last year's draft. Like, this guy's looking like more of a guy that is like more of a top 10 type of potential than more of a top 20 type of guy, and he's going to be becoming already a very dynamic player to a very exciting Montreal Canadiens team. And this guy, he's not NHL ready right now, but boy, is he ever getting close? And the things that I love is like, it's just such a great fit for Michael Hage with Montreal in so many ways. We know the family, we know the history, everything else, but it's also that style of play as well. Great on the power play, but he plays with that pace, which, when the Montreal Canadiens, when they're playing their best, this is what they're getting known for in the league right now. So I think he's going to come build upon some really solid things that we're already doing right now. Again, 21 points in 17 games. Like, this guy has just been an absolute phenom this year, and I just can't wait to see what he's going to do in the future.
I think, Jesse, a big thing that I think we'll probably talk about in our live stream coming up is Montreal's future down the middle. And right now, it's looking extremely bright. I know there's question marks with Jake Evans. He'll probably end up extending. We'll see. Dvorak's probably gone. Dach and Newhook, are they long-term centers? Will their face-off percentage stop them from that? One guy, though, that we're penciling in right now, other than Kaiden and Beck, who have both been off to phenomenal seasons as well, is Michael Hage. I mean, is it a stretch to say that he's now... I know Jacob Fowler's really good. He might still be the number 2 prospect, but honestly, Michael Hage might be pushing for that title soon, Jesse. I mean, they're both having unbelievable seasons in college. Both Fowler and Hage, both, I would say, arguably above expectations, but he's pushing for that number 2 prospect spot right now, and I know he's still raw a bit defensively. There's still things he got to learn, but for the point total of pure offensive output to being compared to, like, the other guys in the draft that were slotted in well above him at some points, and even a guy who's coming up this year who could be a very top pick, it's hard to deny that this dude may likely play a very big part in the Habs' future.
He is absolutely challenging, Fowler right now. He kind of, both of them do have that superstar potential and that type of, and the fact that he's doing this, with all that Jacob Fowler is doing in net right now in the NCAA is just absolutely phenomenal. We have 2 of the better players right now, but again, all of our young centers, we have Kaiden, producing at basically a point per game. Beck really getting those points as well as being so good, 2 ways. Just really Hage, obviously what he's doing right now, like the future for the Montreal Canadiens at that center position is looking actually phenomenal right now. And I think it's still kind of figuring out, okay, who's going to kind of get that 2C? Where's that going to flesh out? But I think the Montreal Canadiens are shaping themselves up to have some great options right now.
It's unbelievable. It's almost crazy to feel how this prospect pool has shifted in the last 5-6 years, right? Like, I don't know. It feels so much different than ever before. It's like Habs prospects are at the forefront of everything, right? Even a guy like Lane Hutson, who's in his rookie season, was the number 1 defenseman in the team of the week that we see posted online. We'll probably talk about that at some other point as well. Number 1 in the whole NHL, right? And he's still 20 years old. Juraj Slafkovsky still playing some great hockey, picking it up now, and he's 20 years old. And then you got got guys like Hage, a college freshman, Demidov dominating the KHL is straight up one of their best players. Like, it doesn't end there. It doesn't end anywhere for the Habs. It's unbelievable. We got to hear your guys' thoughts. What are your thoughts on all the Habs prospects? There's more guys we couldn't even get into in this video that I know we'll talk about very soon, but I want to hear all your thoughts down below. But for now, that'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We're now on the road to 20K. I mean, look, if you made it to this far in the video, 10 minutes in, 20K is a big goal for us, and if you wouldn't mind hitting that button, if you haven't already, go down, check. You might have just forgotten. It'd mean the world to us. I'm Josh Gosse, my host, Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.